Hello, everyone. Welcome to Buddha Zen Wisdom. We are here with you every day, sharing insights, stories, and wisdom to help you live a balanced and healthy life. Today, we are going to discuss something that might surprise you: hidden blood sugar bombs. And no, it's not just rice. You see, as we get older, managing our health becomes even more important, and there are so many things we don't realize could be affecting our blood sugar levels. Take, for example, Dr. Robert Hughes. Now, let me tell you, Dr. Hughes is no ordinary man. He's a 65-year-old retired accountant from Chicago. A very disciplined man, I must say, who has been battling diabetes for years. He follows all the rules, takes his medications, and does everything in his power to keep his blood sugar levels stable. But as life would have it, things are never that simple. Despite his efforts, his levels remain inconsistent. Sometimes they're too high, sometimes they drop too low. Frustrating, isn't it? And you know what? He's not alone. So many people struggle with the same issue, thinking they're doing everything right, only to be caught off guard by hidden culprits in their diet. Now, Dr. Hughes is very strict about what he eats. He rarely touches sweets. In fact, he follows a very structured meal plan and avoids anything he believes might mess with his blood sugar. But, like most of us, he gets hungry between meals. And what does he do? He snacks on freeze-dried vegetables. Sounds harmless, right? After all, vegetables are healthy. But here's where things get tricky. One day, while catching up with an old friend over coffee, he absent-mindedly snacked on a variety of things. Nothing outrageous, just a few handfuls of this and that. The next morning, after his usual bowl of oatmeal, he suddenly felt dizzy. Before he knew it, he was on the floor. Imagine that. A grown man, as careful as he is, collapsing like that. His family rushed him to the hospital, and the doctors diagnosed him with diabetic ketoacidosis. Now, if you don't know what that is, let me tell you, it's serious. Turns out, his excessive snacking and missing his medication on time led to this dangerous condition. This experience was a real wake-up call for Dr. Hughes. He sat there in his hospital bed, thinking about all the times he thought he was making healthy choices, only to realize that even the healthiest foods, when eaten in excess, can cause harm. It also made him rethink the importance of taking his medications properly. You see, it's not just about avoiding sugar, it's about balance. And that brings us to today's big question: what about rice? Is it really as bad as people say it is? Now, let's talk about rice. Oh, the debates that have happened over rice. Some say white rice is the worst thing you can eat, calling it junk food with no nutritional value. But is that really the case? Can we still enjoy rice without it wreaking havoc on our blood sugar? There was even an article a few years ago that labeled white rice as the king of junk foods. Can you believe that? They claimed it was just starch and sugar with no real benefits. But before we jump to conclusions, let's break it down. There are two main reasons people say rice is bad. 1. The glycemic index, GI. White rice has a high GI, usually above 80, which means it can spike blood sugar quickly. This is why diabetics are often told to limit their rice intake. 2. Nutritional value. The process of refining rice removes its outer layers, which means it loses a lot of its fiber, protein, and essential nutrients. What's left is mostly starch. Now, all of this is true. But does that mean rice should be banned from your diet? Not necessarily. Our bodies need carbohydrates for energy. Without enough glucose, we can feel irritable, dizzy, and even have trouble remembering things. And for diabetics, completely cutting out carbs can actually lead to other health problems. Dr. Emily Carter, a nutrition expert at Johns Hopkins University, says that people with diabetes must eat some carbohydrates to avoid complications like hypoglycemia and ketoacidosis. The real trick is to eat the right amount and pair it with other foods that slow down digestion. So, How can you enjoy rice without spiking your blood sugar? Here are some simple tricks. 1. Mix it up. Combine white rice with brown rice, quinoa, or barley to slow digestion. 2. Don't overcook it. Softer rice breaks down faster, which causes a quicker blood sugar spike. 3. Eat slowly. Chewing thoroughly helps slow the absorption of carbohydrates. 4. Portion control. Stick to a small serving, about 1/3 to 1/2 cup per meal. Now, here's something interesting. Why do some cultures eat rice daily but have lower diabetes rates? Think about countries like Japan, Thailand, and India. People there eat rice all the time, yet they don't have the same diabetes epidemic as in the US. Why is that? Well, there are a few key differences. 1. They eat cold rice more often. Cold rice has more resistant starch, which slows digestion. 2. Their portions are smaller. Instead of making rice the main event, they eat it as a side dish with protein and vegetables. 3. Their cooking methods are lighter. They steam or grill their food instead of frying it in heavy oils. 4. They use vinegar. Vinegar can help slow carb absorption, reducing blood sugar spikes. Now, before we wrap this up, let me tell you something that might shock you. Many people think avoiding sweets is enough, but there are so many hidden sources of sugar in our diet. Here are some surprising foods that can secretly raise your blood sugar. 1. Flavored yogurt. It seems healthy, but it's often packed with sugar. 2. Granola bars. Marketed as nutritious, but many are loaded with syrups. 3. Fruit juices. Even 100% juice lacks fiber, making it spike blood sugar fast. 4. White bread and pasta. Highly processed and turns into glucose quickly. 5. Dried fruits. They're natural, but they're also concentrated sugar bombs. 6. Alcoholic beverages. Beer, cocktails, and some wines can mess with blood sugar levels. At the end of the day, the key to managing blood sugar isn't about banning certain foods completely. It's about making smarter choices. Rice isn't the enemy, it's how we eat it that matters. So, take a lesson from cultures that balance their meals, eat mindfully, and most importantly, listen to your body. That's it for today's wisdom. Remember, it's not just about what you eat, but how you eat it. Stay informed, eat wisely, and take care of your health. We'll see you next time on Buddha Zen Wisdom.